All right, this is like take four, and I'm letting it go. Welcome to the Soul Issue. I'm your host, Rachel D. This is an audio publication. Publication, forget it. Where on Sundays we wear yellow and we recognize that the Soul Issue. I'm so happy to be here. And if you're here with me, I'm happy for that too. So, a little about the Soul Issue. I had a thought one day and I was like, the soul issue. I forgot what I was meditating on at the present time, but the soul issue came up and not as soul as SOLE. I was specifically in the sun. And I was like, you know what? That has a pretty dope meaning. I think I'm gonna roll with that. And then like 5 minutes later, writing in the double entendre of the soul is you pops up, and that was it. That was it. And I love it. And with the soul issue, it is based on the position of where the sun is in the current season. Like today is, hold on, we're in Leo season for sure, but the sun is at 10 degrees Leo. And what I do with the degree, I translate that to a Sabian symbol. Sabian symbols are like describers of the degrees in each sign. Sometimes they can add an element of learning, background, and whatnot. So I decided to go that way with it because Sabian goes on that same thing. So it goes on all planets, but it started with the sun. I know that. And I thought that was a pretty dope concept. So here I am with it. All right, but enough about that. Let's get into issue number one, the courage issue. Okay, so off rip, we know that one of the signifiers of Leo is courage. And that Sabian symbol, all the Sabian symbols have some type of quote that go with them. Um, Early morning dew sparkles as the sunlight floods the fields. Now, what does that mean? It's really up to personal interpretation. There are some pretty good descriptors online. I'm not an expert in it. I just found interest in it and see how it can be applied to real life. So, okay. And where do we find courage in that? Matter of fact, what is courage? The textbook definition of courage is mental or moral strength to venture or withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. And how does courage relate to that? Early morning dews. I wrote it down. I have a notebook. If you know me, I have my notebook always. Hmm. Leo 10 tells us that every day is a new chance to start over anew, especially days after like hard work. Time is crunching because Leo 9 is a little bit rougher. But you go back and you read that on your own time. But yeah, it's a chance to start anew. You think of morning dew, it's fresh, it's crisp, it's clean. And matter of fact, the soul issue is a prime example of that. I actually started this series back in cancer season on a whole other page. And I suppose that was my soft launch. Yeah, I would call that my soft launch. And while I was trying to break the kink, get into the kinks and everything, it just felt like it wasn't going anywhere. And I was really ready to scrap it. I have about 20 million projects open, but this is one I said I really wanted to commit to. The cancer season was soft beginnings, and I may or may not add those to here. I probably will, just for information's sake and documentation's sake. Yeah, I probably will. But yeah, there's already 4 episodes of the Soul Issue done. But today I wanted to relaunch it because it's so fitting with it being first Sunday. It's the first Sunday of Leo season. This is something I was afraid to do. I teeter totted back and forth with that. Honestly, I didn't even have the subject matter of what I was going to write up until midnight. Like if you were literally about 12 hours ago. It's about noon my time right now. I stayed up till about 3. Like the downloads just they came out of nowhere. It got easier. And I said, you know what? This is how we're gonna do it. That's all right. It's fitting because it's literally a chance to start anew, like morning dew. What does dew even represent? What is dew? It's the little droplets that be on the grass early in the morning. It usually comes overnight or settles in the overnight, but it's soft. I like to walk barefoot, but if you ever touch freshly dewed grass, it's the most soft feeling ever. It's very refreshing, and dew, that's what dew represents. Dew represents refreshment and renewal, and just as it comes overnight, it's similar to how the divine, your higher self, comes in our darkest of hours, like after a day of fucking, like it's prepared for us. Breath of fresh air. I'll say that. That's the most that I can compare it to. Personally, it's soft, it's renewing. Now, it is hydrating. It is hydrating. I gotta stop veering off from my handy dandy notebook because sometimes I can go off the dome, but I have a Mercury and Pisces. That's all right, but if you know, you know. Okay? During times of drought, I am reminded that on the other end that there's renewal and there's hydration. Like, I don't know, a fresh shower after a long day and it just hits your skin and you just feel all the stress melt away from your body, melt away from your spirit, and then you're out and you're renewed, you're fresh. Could have been the worst day ever. But that one little shower, that one little bath brings you back. It's like a personal baptism. But nature's form, because we're talking about dew. And it's quiet and it's subtle and it reminds you that courage doesn't have to be loud. It just has to be present. All right, and then we have sunlight. What is the purpose of sunlight? It is, well, first of all, the sun means self. I forgot to get into that with soul, self, sun. But sunlight, it's a reflection of self. Consider the sunlight as us coming back to ourselves, like a personal awaken. It sparkles against the dew, and if you look real close into the dew with the sunlight, you're gonna see itty bitty reflections of yourself because why? You're one with nature. You're one with the dew. You are the sun. You are the sunlight. That's like all of that is just super Leo coded. For real, for real. And just like nature, we need sunlight to grow as well. The sunlight has the ability to help us grow. It is a reflector, as I said earlier. And you know what? The best pictures are always taken in natural sunlight. No filter. If you want a filter for real, get in the sun. It's gonna show your best self. It's also gonna show imperfection, but it's gonna show authenticity. It's gonna show the actual canvas and not a facade. Not a facade. It's not anything AI. It's not nothing pixelated. It's authentically you. Don't be afraid to share that. Someone needs that. The sun is for everybody. The sunlight is for everybody. And that's how that ties into courage as well. You can't be afraid to shine at all. And then lastly, it floods the fields. Fields is pretty straightforward. It's grounding, it's one with nature, it's stillness. What can you do with the field? You can plant things, seeds of potential. There are infinite possibilities in healthy fields. You can have fruit on one end, veggies on another. You can have flowers, just all the mixes. There are infinite possibilities in the field. The combination of the dew and the sun in the field are all examples of courage. You have to be courageous to garden because one, you're just planting a seed. Similar to faith, you're planting your seed. You don't know what's going to come of it. You don't even know if what you're planting is going to come out right. All you know is that at least I'm going to try. I'm going to water it. I'm going to allow the dew to do what it do. I'm going to make sure sunlights get it, not just my light, but your light, his light, her light, our light, hit it. And I'm going to give it an intention, and that is to grow, that is to glow, and that is to be unashamed in all that one needs to do in order to become something new. But we're not done just yet because what we have now is called a soul selection. Okay, so a soul selection is going to be, it could be a book, it could be a quote, it could be a task, it could be anything, but it's going to relate to the lesson of the week. Y'all may or may not hear people because I have my back door open. So today's soul selection is actually going to be a task. Since it's first Sunday, if you know, you know. But if you don't, set an intention this week. Set an intention of courage this week. I want you to set an intention of courage. It doesn't matter the place, it doesn't matter the event, it just has to be something courageous. I want you to do one thing that is courageous in your eyes this week. You know what? I may do a check in. I may do a check in. Yeah, I'll do a check in. Matter of fact, write in the comments, I will commit one act of bravery this week. And that is how early morning dew sparkles as the sunlight floods the fields. I hope you got something out of that. Remember, an intention of courage this week. We'll be checking in next week. Until the next issue, remember that the soul issue and that the soul is you. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe.